Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we will be reviewing Scharnhorst. Now, this is one of the most overpowered ships in the game for how it is rated right now. As you can see, it's listed as being a cruiser. Now, personally, I still think that it should be listed as a battleship concerning its size, health pool, and armament. But it's rated as a cruiser in this tier, and it is completely overpowered. It has 283 millimeter guns, has a bunch of secondaries, it has torpedoes, hydro, it has everything. The only place where it does struggle is accuracy, anti-aircraft defense, and honestly, the armor is good, even though it's not impossible to citadel her, but there's just so much broadside that you can shoot on her. That being said, is one of my favorite ships, and she's a really, really fun ship because you're pretty much invincible when you go up against bots. And the ship can even handle battleships with ease. So, let's see here. Let's start with her stats. Like I said, 283 millimeter guns, 3 rounds per minute, pretty good damage, a shell velocity of 890 meters per second. She starts off with 58,200 health. Torpedoes go out to a range of 6 kilometers, 13,500 damage. They reload really quick as well. Main range of 19.5, a secondary base of 5, speed of 32 knots, and she also gets a fighter. Now I have the sister ship and I've named her Lutzow, but besides that, the only difference is about concealment. However, I do want to say that for my crew skill, the first skill I went with was accuracy, and I also run with the accuracy mod here because without both of these attached, the ship is just a giant shotgun. You will literally just shower a bunch of 11-inch shells out into a general area and maybe they will hit. You definitely need to have accuracy buffed on the ship if you're going to have any kind of luck hitting anything. That being said, other than that, there's not really any downsides besides anti-aircraft defense. She's not very strong. Armor, like I said, it is very good. Belt of 350 millimeters, like on a cruiser. And then torpedoes. She does not do very well against torpedoes, but no German ship really does good against torpedoes. So now that you have a brief intro to her, let's toss her into our game and see how she does. Alright, and we have ourselves a game. 5 battleships and 2 cruisers. All in all, pretty HP heavy game, but that's alright. See, we have Gascogna, Richelieu, Vanguard, Richelieu, Lutzow, and a Yodo. I hate going up against the Yodos because their armor is very trolly, and most of the time it's very, very hard to citadel them. So let's see here. Your reload on Scharnhorst is very, very good considering your gun caliber. However, like I said, they are 11-inch guns, so they do have their limits to overmatching. You can overmatch small ships like Helena. However, anything larger than that, don't even think about it really. You can HE spam with this ship. High explosive can be powerful. However, most of the time I just stick with armor piercing because if you have 9 11-inch armor piercing rounds coming at you every 15 seconds, you're gonna have a heck of a time surviving. Maneuverability, well, you can see her size. Her speed is good, but she's not gonna turn on a dime, I tell you that. But that's to be expected. Let's see here. She does have a fighter. Don't quite really need it. And she does have hydro for when she is engaging ships with torpedoes. Now, I used to play Scharnhorst back before she had hydro, and she was still overpowered. And then I thought they were going to nerf her, and they just made her more powerful. So I kind of had a nice little chuckle at that. That's alright. Let's see here. Gonna ricochet the most of that. Gonna ricochet her too. You can see the gun angles for the ship too. I mean, it's not the best, but pretty good. Here we're detected, though it doesn't matter much, I was just waiting for a good broadside. Now you can see this accuracy, and it's only because I have both of those skills attached. Without it, these shells would be going everywhere around this vanguard. First salvo was 12,000 damage. This one's slightly angled, and we still get 9.7. Right. Let's get a few more over here. I'm going to rush this Lutzow, but you also have to remember that torpedoes will not sink the ship alone. You do need to weaken her with your guns. So try and get some good broadside hits. 15,000 damage. Secondaries are popping in. I don't have any secondary skills that I can think of on my ship, so it's still going to be the base 6 kilometers to angled and for the superstructure. Pop hydro just in case torpedoes are coming my way from. Oh, there, yep, for the Lutzow there. I lost one of my secondaries. I actually won't even need to use torpedoes if I can play this right. Focus secondaries on her. Sunk. And I'm not going to be able to turn without hitting the Scharnhorst track. So let's just pop some more shells in the vanguard. Now the ship does get 4 heals, which is very useful because, like you can see, this ship is definitely a brawling ship. Mostly overpens. See what we have over here. We have a Skogna and then both Richies in the corner over there. Pop a heal. Now my hydro is still going. It's a really long hydro. I don't remember exactly how long it is, but it does last for a long time. See if we can take this Oyoto out. Double Citadel. Quite lucky, honestly. And there we go. Now my hydro just went down, and you can see it has a 2-minute cooldown, so it lasts a long time, but it also takes a long time for it to come back. Let's see how high explosive does. I don't usually use high explosive, so I'm not really familiar with how effective it is. Also, you can see torp angles are really good. However, the torpedoes are kind of exposed, so don't be surprised if they do get damaged. The high explosive salvo was pretty disappointing. And see, even with this kind of broadside, might as well just switch back to armor piercing. Focus secondaries on this vanguard, though I am planning on putting some torps into her anyways. Angle just in case she shoots me. Scharnhorst is immensely powerful. I've taken this ship and actually rushed a real player Yama and a Yamato, and the 460s just went straight through my nose without a problem. And you'll see most battleships do that, especially with 406s, and possibly even 381s. I'm not entirely sure on that though. But you just rush as fast as you can, pop some torpedoes into her, use your rapid firing guns to shell her broadside, and any ship that you come across is going to have a hard time. This ship does suffer with carriers. Like I said, the AA is not noticeable pretty much. It's pretty average, if not less for a cruiser. So that's where you do need protection because, as you can tell, you're not going to be dodging torpedoes. And you're the size of a Scharnhorst. So any dive bombers you're going to suffer the consequences there as well. All in all, though, it does have the health to trade pretty adequately. As you can tell, 3 ships sunk already. I don't know how much damage I do. I wish Naval Creed had a little damage counter in the corner. That'd make it a lot more interesting to see how much damage you have per game. Let's see here. We'll try. I switched back to high explosive mainly because it's possible to get another fire or so, or at least try and do any damage. Let's see. Okay, yeah, not too bad. Gonna pop another heal, even though I don't really need to, but might as well use it if I have it. As you can see, high explosive does do damage, but it's not massive. It's just pretty average damage. The ship does suffer at range. As you can see, the dispersion is kind of wonky even with both accuracy mods on. And high explosive doesn't do all that much damage, barely lights any fires, and armor piercing does tend to just ricochet or shatter at that range. So like if I have armor piercing loaded right now, I highly doubt it'll do much of anything at this angle, though she is turning a bit. Alright, so she did turn enough that I was able to get a few penetrations, and now I have a nice juicy broadside to shoot at. And when you reload every 15 seconds, you can do quite a bit of damage. But you can see I'm aiming at the waterline and I'm getting pens on the upper belt and misses. So even here I'm still struggling with accuracy. Still not achieving any citadels. Secondaries are kicking in. Just like the German battleship secondaries, these are focused for the superstructure and have that increased penetration. So they do tend to tear up smaller vessels quite easily. And they are quite potent. As you can see, I'm just raking the superstructure of this Richelieu and getting pretty solid damage for secondaries. Set a fire and sunk her with secondaries. Popping another heal for the little bit of damage I took from the 152s on Richie. And we're just going to rush this one. You can see, I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the video, but my health and speed are higher than normal due to some buffs I've applied. So I'm currently going 34.2 knots in my overcompensating cruiser here. And you can understand why I would say that she's better used as a battleship. Heck, she's larger than Gneisenau. I mean, technically they're sister ships, so they're the same size. But in the game, Gneisenau sits lower in the water. So it's not as easy to hit her. She doesn't have as much HP. So let's see what we can do from front. Maybe knock out a few guns. And now torpedoes will be enough to sink her. And here we go. And there we have a game. $254,000 damage, 5 ships sunk, 153 shell hits, 5 torpedoes, 1 aircraft shot down, 3 citadels, 3 fires, 2 floodings, 1 module destroyed, 241 secondary armament hits. Now, it is privy to the free XP bonus, so you can grind free XP with this. I mean, 9,000 in that one game. And like I said, you can see how large a Scharnhorst is here. Gneisenau sits way lower in the water. Now, should you get Scharnhorst? Honestly, she's one of my favorite ships. There, I absolutely ruffle stomp everything in my way with this. It does tend to struggle, honestly. The one thing I do struggle with are Fargos. And when I do come across these, they just they can tear you up a bit. Now, going back to whether or not you should buy Scharnhorst. If you do like the Russian kind of aggressive play of Gneisenau, now, you would like her. You don't have the 15-inch guns, so they're not as powerful, but you do have rapid firing 11-inch guns. However, with the new update, the new O class cruiser that came out is pretty much a super Scharnhorst. It has the same hull, same guns, better torpedoes, and you even have the ability to equip the 15-inch guns that you find in Gneisenau now. So you get the best of both worlds. So that is up to you. Like I said, if you want Scharnhorst, she was definitely a fun ship. I definitely recommend her. She will overpower pretty much anything and everything you come across, and it's loads of fun to do. However, there's not really anything special about her playstyle. Nothing that's screams this is cool. If you want Hydro, lean or O class gets Hydro. You want 11-inch guns, O class gets 11-inch guns. You want secondaries, it gets this. It has torpedoes. It has better AA. This is a better Scharnhorst, but it is up tiered at tier 9 matchmaking. This one's tier 8 matchmaking. All in all, I do recommend this ship. If you do like the German battleship cruiser playstyle, this is definitely a ship you would like to invest in. And with that, I'm going to wrap up my video, and have a good day.